We are really in find out stage in many aspects of life, and many men are coming to that realization that women don't need to be in a relationship. Women are walking away. There was this post in the Christian marriage subreddit. My wife wants a divorce and I want to save our marriage. My wife and I have been married for 8 years and been together for almost 14. We have two sons. One just turned 1 and the oldest is about to turn 3. A little background is we have always had a generally happy relationship. There have been times that I have fallen short in supporting her, and we have both said some mean, hurtful things during arguments. I had a drinking problem and was drinking way too many beers. I never drank liquor. This went on for a few years of me trying to stop on my own and trying to limit it. One night, something came over me, and I felt like I needed to look at her phone. I never really do this because I trust her. I found an email from a divorce attorney and asked her about it. It was too late, and she said she wanted to go stay at her parents'. I said, let's get some sleep and talk about this in the morning after work. The next day, she came home while the kids were at her parents', and we talked it over. She went to stay at her parents' with the threat of losing my family. I decided to seek help. I really need to stop drinking. I decided to go to an out-of-state rehab. She came home when I told her about the rehab, and she said she is really happy I was getting the help I needed. The night before I left, we had a beautiful evening as a family, and then after the kids went to bed, we had a very intimate and passionate evening. After we talked, and she told me she was going to give me the chance to fix us. She took me to the airport the next day and kissed me goodbye, wishing me luck, and told me she would be here for me when I got back. Halfway through rehab, I was able to make a call to her on Valentine's Day. She told me she had made her mind up and she wanted a divorce. I was devastated. When I finally came home, she moved to her parents' house. We are splitting the kids 50-50. I have been sober and have no worries that my sobriety will ever be compromised. We have both been going to our own therapists. She believes God saved me from her. Saved her from me. Saved her from me. Okay. I never physically hurt her. That's not who I am. She tells me it's in God's hands, but is not willing to put any effort into reconciliation. Just today, she agreed to go to counseling, but she says she just wants to go for co parenting. I believe this is happening because I was too busy working on my company and wasn't being a good present father and husband. I believe this is God's way of fixing the problems we have. I believe He is molding me into the man she deserves and needs. She doesn't believe that God can change me and that if she gives in and comes back home, that I will just fall back into my old ways. I have closed my business and got a well-paying job where I am home by 5 and every week. I want to be a family. I want to show her the beautiful reward of us reconciling and coming back together as a healthy marriage under God. She says she has found her peace and God doesn't want us to save our marriage. I will happily answer any question to help anyone further understand the situation. I need any and all help and advice. I have been praying nonstop about this, and she says she's praying as well, but not for us to reconcile. I've done everything she wanted me to do and have made my changes permanent. I have so much love for her and just need help. Like I said, a lot of these people are in the find out stage. It's like they don't really get it when women are just talking to them normal about things that are issues in the relationship. They do not really understand until the woman actually leaves, and then it's like, I better fix it. Like, why can't you do that before it gets to that point? I just do not understand. But like I said, everybody is in find out season. How do you think your behavior affected your wife and kids? This person says your interaction or lack of interaction with your children has much more impactful effect on them the younger they are. Their brains are creating 40,000 neurons a day based on experiences and interactions and developing based on those things to know how to behave and stay safe the rest of our lives. He responds with, I understand that, and I am more present and active in their lives than I have ever been, and I absolutely love it, so much so that it destroys me to know if we divorce, I will miss 50% of their childhood. There was no infidelity on either side, no physical abuse. I could agree that some of the things both of us have said to each other are borderline emotional abuse. I just can't believe that our marriage is over and can't be saved. Now, he has several times said something about there not being any physical abuse and not being any cheating. And this goes to show that some of these people simply do not understand the different kinds of abuse and what women might believe is abuse. And from his statements, even as he's trying to pity pat around it and make himself sound better, he does not sound like a good person or a good husband. And that's why this woman thought about it while he was gone. What happened was, just like when you go on a vacation after having a sucky job and you come back and then you just no longer want to go back to that job. That's what happened while he was away at rehab. She's like, she had a chance to breathe, and now she does not want to bring him back into her space. This person says, I don't understand what is downloaded here. And the OP says, all my replies are getting tanked. I'll be sure to have my therapist read these posts and help me understand why my replies are so disliked. I'm a broken man trying to find answers through the community. This person says, you're getting downvoted because your behavior has been absolutely terrible, but you don't seem to realize how bad it was. You played down by saying things like, I never drank liquor, and I never physically hurt her. I know you're hurting, but I'm honestly finding it hard to feel sympathy for you because you don't seem to fully appreciate the effects of your actions. And then he says, I completely understand my behavior was terrible. I didn't mean to downplay it. I just didn't want people to assume I physically hurt her. I know I have emotionally hurt her badly. And then he responds with, but people wouldn't automatically assume you have physically hurt her. It's odd that you said this, to be honest. Was it something you've seen in your life? He says, yes, I have lots of trauma from my parents' divorce and my mom's relationships afterwards. I do fear everyone thinks all alcoholics are spouse. To this day, I still run and hide from major conflict. I will never put my opinion or feelings to the side normally. I will even put my opinion or feelings to the side normally to avoid it. I've shoved a lot down and shouldn't have. I have been seeing a therapist weekly now since February. I found a new psychiatrist after rehab, and he is far better than my last one. You know, this man might improve for the next relationship, but this one is probably over. And this is probably what he needs to be a better person. But I do not believe that he's going to be a better person for this particular wife. But you guys jump in. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, so this Am I the A-hole thread is a very sensitive topic. Please be aware. If you need to scroll away, I completely understand. She says, Am I the a-hole for divorcing my husband for asking if he can move on if I die when I have cancer? She says, the title says it all, really. I have stage 3 cancer. There's a decent chance I die within 5 years. My husband and I have a good marriage. He's not the lead of a romance movie, but he's also not a bad husband. The problem is, my husband keeps asking, if I die, will I want him to move on? Does he have my blessing to move on? He's asked 3 times in the past month alone, and as someone who could die, it doesn't exactly lift up my mood. I know he loves me and wants my blessing to move forward, but geez, leave it until I'm dead before trying to move on. I realize he's probably fed up with having a sick wife, and honestly, I'm not out of my mind enough to not notice his resentment and impatience. My family is ready to take me in. I asked for a divorce. I told my husband I was sick of him asking if he could move on because it felt he was eager for me to die. If he didn't want me so bad, I didn't have to die to go away. My cousin works at a family law firm and they'll be representing me in the divorce. However, my husband and his family are acting like I've lost my mind. They think cancer took away my facilities and I'm trying to run away from a loving husband because my family wants my inheritance, aka the little retirement money I'd have after I exhaust my savings with cancer. I've had friends tell me I'm making a mistake and being too sensitive. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. You're doing the right thing. You deserve peace in your last few years if these are your last few years. And even if they're not your last few years, you need to get rid of this person so you can heal because obviously he is tired. He wants to give him his peace. Let him move on and you go take your peace because this does not sound like a conducive relationship. This doesn't sound like a conducive space for your healing. So you need to go. Some of the comments. When my wife was diagnosed with stage 3 metastatic melanoma, the thought of moving on afterward never crossed my mind. I knew that she was going to die eventually from the cancer, but my only concern was her feeling absolutely loved and adored from the time we had left. I'm sorry, for the time we had left. We were married in October 2008 after just meeting 25 days earlier, and she passed in December of 2020. I still haven't moved on and probably won't. I'm only 43 and I feel like I already had my happily ever after. God, I miss that girl so much. She was the happiest and coolest girl I have ever had the honor of knowing. Yeah, that's a that's a good love story, even though it ended too soon for him. Okay, this person says, I'm so sorry for your loss. I have stage 4 cancer, and my husband says the same thing. I do want him to find someone again, but he is adamant that he'll never move on. He's even said he's going to be a priest. Who knows? He's such a good man, though, and could make any woman happy. The idea of saying goodbye to him is incredibly gut wrenching to me. I love him so much and can't believe I was blessed with such a wonderful man. I don't deserve him. See, this is the kind of love and support that people that are healing need. And if you don't have that kind of this type of love and support, then it's not conducive for anyone. The resentment is building on the non-sick spouse, and the person with the cancer or the disease or whatever is feeling that resentment too, and probably doesn't want to be a burden or whatever. But that person should be concerned about living. I'm not going to dive too deeply into the comments, but I do want to know where you guys land on this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Chores seems like a major contention, a major sticking point in relationship these days. This man is asking this question in the relationship advice subreddit. He's 24, the girlfriend's 23. He says, me and my girlfriend broke up mostly over chores, and now I don't know what to do. Me and my girlfriend broke up mostly over chores after 2.5 years a couple of days ago. It's all because of me, and I don't know what to do and how to get her back and prove to her that I can change. She doesn't even want to talk to me. Maybe it's just emotions and she needs some time alone, or we will never actually even speak to each other again. I effed up big time, but I love her more than anything and hope she still does love me at least a little bit to forgive me and take me back. So this man is asking this advice in the relationship advice subreddit. And I'm seeing a lot of these types of situations. And basically, you don't need to be asking advice. And you're young. These people are 23 and 24. Basically, you, 24-year-old man, stop asking for forgiveness and just start cleaning up. Just start doing the chores. It's really just that simple. There's no real need to ask for advice in this relationship subreddit. But let's just look at some of these comments. Dear God, listen to yourself. Maybe it's all emotion and she just needs time. No, she needed you to listen and do the chores. Next time, don't write off your partner's needs with she's probably just being emotional. This person says, my bang maid got emotional. Maybe it's that time of the month because I didn't do the dishes for the 980th time. WTF? How long should I wait for her to calm down before I ask her to get some nuggets and a BJ? This person says, this sounds like my old roommate, LOL. His ex-wife left him because she was sick of taking care of him like a man-child. This was a man who had 3 half-eaten containers of cottage cheese in the fridge and would get DUI warnings consistently. Somehow left glassware in the yard and got arrested for being at the Capitol riots eventually. LOL. This person says, yeah, it's not hot when you have to parent your partner. My last boyfriend made me feel like I was the mom to a special needs teenager. I never wanted kids. I definitely didn't want a 45-year-old kid. This person says, oof, you think at 45 you'd have yourself figured out. This person says, DUI warnings. Who the hell gives out warnings for DUI? Yeah, this sounds very interesting. So this person says, this is how my fiance is and it tears me up for real. I don't know how to cope. This person says, you leave like this guy's partner did. This person says, leave, babe. He's never going to change. Get out before you have a real legal commitment to him. This person says, find a new fiance. Like I said, this type of discourse is happening sideways, up, down, all around. Chores is definitely a major contention, but these people are 23. you can change at 23. You still have some time to fix things. And I'm not exactly even sure that 23 is the best age to even be getting married. That is a time where you should be finding yourself. So this man has the opportunity to correct things. Correct things. And we should be equally, teaching our boy children and our girl children how to do chores so that when they do become adults, they have that capacity. Anyways, like I said, this is totally a hot button conversation. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know where you land on this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you made it this far, go ahead and hit subscribe.